What is going on, everyone? My name is Devin Ernst, Senior Airman, United States Air Force, and I wanted to talk today about running and the Air Force fitness assessment. So one of the things that I've noticed is that people do not like to run. One of the hardest things to get people to do, as well as something that they don't want to do. Which brings me to the mandatory PT that my previous unit had one time per week on Wednesdays. My thoughts were, make every mandatory PT a run day. That way people have to at least run 26 times between PT tests. 26 run days, in my opinion, is more than enough to stay satisfactory, if not programmed correctly, get you from satisfactory to excellent. So, the run portion of the fitness assessment constitutes 60 points out of 100. Highest score gets you 60, lowest score for people in my age range, males under 30, would be a 42.3 point score, which is 17.7 points lower than the max and is about 4.5 minutes slower. This leads me into that many people do not pass the run portion, and for whatever reason they just decide not to run. They know when they have to test, they just refuse to do what's required. And I think this one time per week is a bare minimum that'll at least keep you at the point where you can pass your fitness assessment and you don't need to exert any extra effort. Assuming we're working with that 6-month time frame, there's 26 weeks between their fitness assessments. You do run one run workout per week. And my previous unit also decided to start implementing a mock fitness assessment once per month. So I'm going to try and stick with that and do a run workout every Wednesday, and then do a mock test on the first Wednesday of every month for the next 6 months. I'm not going to include any other running. Outside of that, I'm just going to be doing some pretty much basic weightlifting and body weight exercise that people are more likely to do rather than either running or any other heavy cardiovascular workout. And I believe that this is going to be beneficial to anyone who doesn't enjoy running and doesn't like running, but is able to do about an hour workout once a week to at least stay proficient in the run. The run workouts are going to be programmed per the individual. Some people don't have the muscular strength to complete the run in a fast enough time. Their cardio might be okay, but if their muscles can't produce the amount of force necessary to generate the speed they require, they're not going to be able to get that time to pass their test. Other people are unable to have the cardiovascular endurance to run the 1.5 miles. My thoughts on it are 1.5 miles barely starts to get into your aerobic capacity for running. And with that, having the muscular strength should be able to drive you through to the end of it without requiring much cardiovascular effort. Myself, for example, I decided to take a mock run of 1.5 miles. My last actual exerted run would be a 5K that I did back at the beginning of September in 2019. Since then, I have had maybe a couple runs in between, but nothing that I would consider a workout. My time that I got on the 1.5 mile run was 11 minutes and 51 seconds. That, by all measures, is right above middle of the road. I would say a good goal time would be about low to mid 11s. But this is not running for almost 7 months. And the biggest thing that I felt was the strain in the muscles of my legs during the run. After about a half mile into the run, I could really feel that my legs were wearing down strength-wise. I'll show the splits of every quarter mile during that run so you can see how I ended up slowing down throughout my run. Now, there's going to be a lot of opinions on whether to start out your run fast, start it out slow and build up over the time, start out fast, slow down, and then try and speed up again at the end, or just try and keep a constant pace throughout. I have never enjoyed running any distance that's longer than a quarter mile. I don't like spending a lot of time running. I like to get it done and over with. Also, I know that the longer I run, the slower I'm going to run, regardless of how much energy expenditure I did earlier in that run. So for me, it makes more sense to start out pretty fast, because I know if I started out slower, I wouldn't be any faster near the end of that run. And you'll be able to see that in my split times for the quarter miles, how I slowed down pretty much throughout the entire run. Also, I would say if you have a track, that's a much better location to do these runs, just because it's easier on your joints, and you also have that tracking capability of knowing how much exactly you have left and where you are, let's say, in a quarter mile lap on that track. All of the run workouts that I will be doing will be focusing mostly on repeats in the half mile or less distance. The reason being is I think that a mile and a half is more speed oriented than it is cardiovascular oriented. When I was in high school, I trained to run the 400 meter, so quarter mile, and with that, I never trained distances past 800 meters. And even with that, I was able to bring my mile time down from about 6:30 all the way down to about 5 minutes. It's not an impressive mile by any means, but without doing any specific cardiovascular training of distance running, I was still able to decrease mile time significantly over the course of a season. That season being from March through the end of May. So about 3 months, or half the time we'll be working with. So I think 6 months is more than reasonable to not only maintain, but decrease the amount of time that it takes you to run a mile and a half. I'm going to use myself as the test subject because I have no one else to use. If you're interested in working these programs for yourself, let me know. I'll try and set something up for you, and if you want, I'll try and get it out to you the Tuesday before the run workout of that week. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a good one.